All right, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for
Shinsekai Yori, episode 18. We got a 10-year time skip.
Mm-hmm.
And war politics.
War politics and our gods kind of playing God again, where it's the monster rats are doing their thing, advancing, developing, dealing with disagreements with each other in very violent ways as kind of humans do.
Yeah.
So, they need to officiate these wars.
Right.
And yet now they're already starting to see that the monster rats are not just playing each other, but they are playing the gods now. They are playing humans. And at what point does this become a thing where humans have to consider their own survival a little bit?
Or even just put the monster rats back in their place. Make sure that they remember who's in charge here.
Yeah, and that's kind of terrifying. Because again, while these characters are no longer kids,
that's true.
They've grown up, and you can tell that they've integrated a bit. They still have that kind of leftover bit of like unease with regards to the way things are done here, and yet they themselves are a part of it now because they had to grow up. But could all of this be in some ways directly affected by the fact that they let Maria and
Mamoru get away? You know, maybe. Who knows? But Kidomaru's army just got wiped out, even though he won that big battle. Yeah. Odd.
Yakumaru is a skiniver.
Yes.
All right, everyone. Now be sure to go check out the reaction portion of the video in the description below. Then come back here for the discussion. They attacked.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, my God.
That was...
No power was used in this attack.
No power was used in the attack.
Right.
Which, you know, hey, that's something.
That is something, but
the monster rats have access to power.
They have access to power somehow. They have chemical weapons, which we did kind of think of immediately once they were like, wait, is there anything that could have been used? And we're like, chemical weapons. So there was gas that they tried to use. It worked.
But
people
then it
died, but then it was
quickly
immediately
just turned
sent
on the
back
monster
onto
rats,
them. Yeah.
Which makes sense. Of course that would happen. But hey, you know, the amount of monster rats that were there, probably in the grand scheme of things, relatively small. Small numbers, you know, just 20,000 maybe, you know. But okay. Everything's changed now.
Everything's changed.
Everything is different.
Yeah. The colony and all the humans basically will now have to entirely change the way that they live. Because the monster rats are ready to go to war with the gods. So that's intense. That's exciting. That's terrifying. But the most terrifying thing about this is that we have theoretically a possibility of a human being on the outside with power that is either Maria, Mamoru, or their child. With the potential to not to be under the death of shame. That is the most terrifying thing here.
Right.
Because they killed monster rats, and we have seen that before, that I believe the guy that was floating up above there, that might have been the same guy here that was, you know, double-eyed and all that, but it might have been a different guy too. I seem to recall when he just wiped out monster rats. Remember that?
That was a different one, but of the same order.
Right, the same order. I believe he experienced some minor effects of the death of shame, right?
He did, but that was because there was a particular thing that wasn't a monster rat that created an illusion of a person, and then it was close enough to it that
that's what it was.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
terrifying, but not human in that case. But the scary thing is that if we encounter a being with power, we hope it has the death of shame. Because if it doesn't, if it's some kind of, you know, what are they called?
Ogre.
Well, not just an ogre. What's the other one?
The karmic demon is the subconscious bleeding out. Ogres are the ones that don't have the death of shame. They bypass it somehow.
If we're dealing with an ogre, they're fucked.
Right. And fucked. Hey, if it's their child, that would be the perfect way for then Saki later to be like, yeah, they just should have never been born, like, or Maria specifically, like, and given also what we've seen from Yakumaru's group as far as like, oh yeah, keeping the queens around and stuff so that they can still bear children, because that's very important and everything.
Yeah.
I hope that Maria and Mamoru are actually dead at this point.
Yes.
Yes. And
instead
I think they
being
are
potentially restrained in such a way
drugged
to birth,
or
to be a birther.
Yeah, exactly. No,
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
That definitely crossed my mind.
Yeah.
And then Saki's saying would make even more sense because it's also for her own sake, she should have never been born.
Yes.
Like so okay, this is a situation that we're in. I think it is safe to say though that it is not the monster rats themselves directly that have power, because otherwise overwhelming force, there is no way the humans would survive, right?
Well, also they wouldn't attack without 1,000 to 1.
Yeah, exactly. Right. So okay.
I also feel like this is another thing that might need to be thrown into consideration. The idea that they would attack without power is desperate, and I like that Satoru is right then, is that they knew they were going to be wiped out, so they attacked right before they were going to have everyone be sent out, or at the same time when they were being sent out, because they said, have they returned yet? And it's probably what's going on is that their power user dealt with the squad that was sent out, and then concurrently, before they can learn that something went wrong there, they attack. But they probably had to have their power user or users deal with the squad, also not be sent to attack there, and thus that does show their little bit of desperation in that they don't feel like they can have a true power for power fight with what they have,
because one of the
otherwise they would send that,
because if it is something where it's Maria and Mamoru's child,
as an ogre,
they have a very limited resource essentially.
Yes,
they have one nuke, right? And they need to make sure, like, that nuke can be used multiple times, but they need to make sure they don't lose that nuke, right? Because they're not going to get another one probably, not for another 9 months anyways. So I could see it also being something where it's even if they don't have the death of shame, we don't want our one piece to go against all of the gods. That's potentially a bad idea. If the gods end up finding out that we have one, we're kind of fucked anyway, so we'll need to attack. But it's better to have them in reserve somewhere where then it's the threat of having someone with power that can come in and actually attack them without retribution or well, and because the tough thing is that if it's revealed that they have a human with power, I fully believe that there would be at least a dozen well-trained humans with power, like of the special order, that would be like,
I'll go kill myself.
You know, like, all right, cool. Like easy peasy, right?
We specifically have trained for the moment where it's we roll the dice 50-50. Either my power works or theirs works, and I just mind sliver the dead, and then I immediately retch, my body contorts, I fall there,
fall out of my mouth or whatever,
or just whatever the result is. They end up basically being thrown to the brink of death by the act of this, but they're mentally trained specifically to do this without themselves also becoming, ogres.
Because if we're talking about cards that the different sides have in their hand, I believe the guy that had his eyes revealed with like the double pupils in each one, which is very cool, by the way. I love that design. It's super fun. I believe that's the one that they were talking about earlier that came to see Shun. That was like, oh yeah, his power is crazy that if he really tried, he could split the world in half.
Yes.
So this is the guy that it doesn't matter how many monster rats are coming as long as he isn't taken by surprise, which is maybe almost a thing, but no, he can do whatever, right? He can move mountains, so that's not a problem, and I wouldn't be surprised if he ended up needing to sacrifice himself in order to defeat Maria and Mamoru's child.
See, I am way more pessimistic than that. I do not think the strength of someone's power is going to matter here. I think it's going to come down entirely to
who moves first.
Not just who moves first, but who's in control here. One of the things that's really scary is that if they have a kid, right, and let's just say it's a normal kid, like it's not an ogre. Ogre is such a demonizing term.
Right, that the society came up with. Yeah.
Right. But it could just be someone that has the mind of a child. And children are very impressionable. You could have a child who sits there seeming like a psychopath who's picking apart crab legs. And it's like, they don't know. They haven't been taught that that's wrong. If you see little kids who are just left to their own devices,
they'll be sadistic.
They'll be sadistic. They'll go to the other kid on the playground, push them over, and laugh maniacally because they think it's funny. Yeah. They don't think about it from the sense of good and evil. It's just.
And that's in a neutral situation.
That's in a neutral situation.
What happens if Yakimaru, say he got Maria and Mamoru to have a kid, he takes the kid, manages to kill them, leave their bones there, whatever, and then he raises the kid and he's like, oh, those humans, they killed your parents. We're gonna get you justice. Don't worry, but we gotta train you, we gotta make you ready. And they just weaponize them, right? And then it's to the point where it's this child absolutely despises the humans, and
right. But that's the other scary, terrifying thing as well, is that the kid might end up by either the tutelage of Yakimaru or even just being loose in the sense that they realize they can do effectively anything. Yakimaru and his colony and tribe and all that, they're in danger. It's just a thing where they could just be like, look, I just grabbed the little one here. Yes, absolutely. Hey, look, I just split them into 7 pieces.
And the thing is, I firmly believe that Yakimaru wouldn't have a problem with that.
No, but
he would also be fairly used to that, because if you think about the situation that the monster rats came from, it's the queen could kill us at any moment.
Yeah.
And we handled that, we dealt with that. The gods could kill us at any moment. So it's
the gods were more predictable.
No, the gods were more predictable, right?
Yeah.
But Yakimaru became comfortable with I'm playing with fire, and that's fine. I've gotten this far.
Yeah.
If at some point my ability to manipulate and navigate this situation isn't enough, then I guess I'll die like the rest of my people have. But until then, I'm doing pretty good.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. All right. Saki is seeing images, hallucinations, or some kind of projected power ability that she has. She has been known to see dreams and visions and things like that when she was a kid. So this element being something that's playing out in her walking day kind of, it's a waking nightmare, if that makes sense. That shows that there might actually be a literal power dynamic going on here, where she is seeing either visions of the future, or she's seeing visions of the past, or she's tapping into some kind of actual ability here. I'm very excited to see this followed up on, because it did have that moment where we had a person who brought destruction. And if you remember, that was right before the time skip. And that could very easily be the child, ogre.
Yeah.
And they brought monsters and destruction and death and everything. So this kind of fits that.
Right,
she could have literally been seeing a vision of the future of this is what's coming. Are you ready? They weren't.
Nope.
And the thing is, that might still not have happened yet. That might have been just this might have just been the monster rats coming, but it's not, the person,
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. This show knows how to do things that just not keep me invested. Like turn my investment levels to different dimensions of investment, right? Because when I think back to the beginning of the show, it's oh yeah, this is fun. Okay, we're invested in what's happening. Let's follow the journeys of the kids. Oh shit, this world's weird and all that stuff. And then it's they're growing up. Will they be able to navigate society? And now it's whatever this is, And I feel it feels like the show has just started, even though I feel like we've done Like,
well, we've done this 3 times.
We've done this 3 times. Yeah.
It's, if anything, it's. I feel like it's. I get what you're saying. Yeah. I feel like it's something where, if anything, they're not introducing new elements here.
Right. It's capitulations on things that have been set up for a long time.
Yeah, yeah. So now it's okay, everything that's been set up will get brought up again at some point, and just using ogres in a flashback is nice, but what if you guys actually had to deal with one? How would that happen? Well, we know that they survived it, because Saki is the narrator.
Yep.
Satoru is not the narrator.
Nope.
My pessimism goes to that Satoru will sacrifice himself to save
I think
everybody.
I could definitely see that happening. I also think that I forget her name, Satoru's grandma. Tomiko.
Yeah.
She is going to die. I think so because I feel like Saki,
so that Saki can become her.
Right, exactly. Yeah. Like,
yeah, I can see that. I definitely think though that this is going to lead to a happy-ish ending though. I think it's more the thing of where Saki will find a new path forward for humanity after the dust has settled, and
and this will be the new story that Tomiko's story about the ogre. That will be what Saki's story is about the 2 children that left, right?
Yeah,
and it's here's what happened. 10 years later, tons of people died.
Yeah. But all right, y'all, thank you so much for watching this episode's reaction and discussion. If you want to see the next episode's reaction and discussion right now, though, go check out the link in the description below for our Patreon. You can get on early access there. You can watch full-length timer reactions there, and all this comes with Discord access, so you can chat with us in the community there about this show, about anime in general, and also be sure to check out our Twitch channel.
We stream every weekday. The info's in the description.
Yeah, so if any of that interests you, we'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all
next time.
I said our Twitch channel.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.